Welcome to this explainer. We're grabbing a massive mountain of information and, well, actually, let's just dive straight in. Just in the week of May 18th to the 24th, 2026, there were over 70 huge AI announcements. 70. It is completely overwhelming to keep up with. So today, we're cutting through all that noise. We're going to distill these updates into a concise, laser-focused look at how artificial intelligence is fundamentally rewiring our world right this very second.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. We've grouped all this craziness into 5 clear megatrends. First up, enterprise and developer AI. Second, healthcare breakthroughs. Third, consumer and creative tech. Fourth, autonomous mobility. And finally, regulation and real-world friction. Let's kick things off with Section 1, enterprise and developer AI, the race for speed and autonomy. Right now, we're seeing 2 wildly different strategies playing out at the absolute bleeding edge of compute. On one hand, you have Google's huge I/O announcement of Gemini 3.5 Flash, which is just laser-focused on raw, blistering speed. But then, on the flip side, you've got Anthropic's Code with Claude. They are prioritizing what we call agentic behavior. Basically, Claude is now autonomously planning and writing complex code without needing you to hold its hand every step of the way. So it's really this fascinating tug of war, raw speed versus true autonomy. And speaking of speed, Google claims Gemini 3.5 Flash is 4 times faster than comparable frontier models. 4 times. And that's not just some flashy vanity metric. It completely shatters our expectations for production speed. When a model runs this incredibly fast, it seamlessly powers real-time tools like Google's AI mode and search without any of that annoying lag we used to just accept as normal. And we are seeing this sheer brain power instantly get plugged into the core of global business. AWS just rolled out Bedrock Agent Core, teaming up with Coinbase and Stripe to let AI agents actually handle financial transactions all on their own. Meanwhile, Microsoft is injecting even more AI directly into its Power Platform UI. Oh, and Google DeepMind? They just announced a massive national research hub in Singapore. The takeaway here? AI isn't just some shiny new toy anymore. It is the invisible engine literally running the global economy.
All right, moving on to Section 2, healthcare AI breakthroughs, taking tech from the lab to real life. So shifting from data centers to hospitals, it's incredible to see how this raw intelligence is genuinely saving lives. Patient care has basically evolved into this brilliant, intelligent pipeline. First up, predictive diagnostics are analyzing health data to catch diseases months or even years before you feel a single symptom. Then, generative AI steps in to design completely novel compounds for drug discovery. And finally, out in the operating room, AI is providing precise, real-time guidance during robotic surgery. We're talking about a total end-to-end transformation of the human health journey. To put some real numbers behind this, pharmaceutical companies are now seeing a massive 40 to 60% reduction in early-stage development timelines. That is literally years shaved off getting life-saving drugs to the people who need them. But here's the one that absolutely blew my mind. DeepMind just published research in the journal Science about using AI to reverse cellular aging. Seriously, reversing aging. You pair that with wearables that constantly monitor for health anomalies, plus genomic precision medicine, and it's pretty clear we have entered a golden age for medical science. Let's jump into Section 3, consumer and creative tech, or what we're calling intelligence at the edge. Leaving the hospital and looking at the phones in our hands, consumer AI has totally blown past the hype cycle. The big shift right now is edge AI. Essentially, the chips inside your smartphone are finally beefy enough to generate high-quality content and process heavy data completely offline, no internet connection required. This is an absolute game changer for privacy because your personal data never has to be beamed up to some giant cloud server. It stays locked down entirely local to your device. And the AI image generation arms race? It is officially settled into a clash of the titans. You've got GPT Images 2.0, Gemini, Flux 2, Hunyuan, and Seedream all battling it out over quality, speed, and cost. What does that mean for us? It means the photorealism and consistency of these generators have hit a professional, production-ready standard, and it's all just sitting right there in your pocket. The real magic here is democratization. The barrier to entry has basically vanished. You can now build fully functional Android apps using nothing but everyday natural language in Google AI Studio, no coding required whatsoever. You can spin up professional quality video from a simple text prompt. And global access is exploding. Apple just launched Apple Intelligence in China by teaming up with Alibaba and Baidu to navigate local regulations. Creating digital content has literally never been easier. Okay, Section 4, the autonomous mobility era. The real-world climax. We're stepping out of the digital world and onto actual streets now, because the industry has hit the gas, hard. We've moved from that pre-2026 era of tightly controlled, slow pilot tests into early 2026 where level 4 and 5 tech, meaning cars driving themselves with absolutely zero human input, just dominated Auto China and CES. And today, we are seeing commercial, revenue-generating robotaxis actually picking up paying customers in major cities across the US and China. The training wheels are officially off. A perfect example of this massive leap is NVIDIA Alpamayo. This system totally nails the shift from rigid, rules-based driving to real-time artificial reasoning. So, rather than just blindly following a giant database of if-then rules, Alpamayo actually lets the vehicle think and reason its way through unpredictable, messy traffic situations. It's making split-second judgment calls, exactly like a human driver would. Finally, let's wrap up with Section 5, Regulation and Real-World Friction, the reality check. Now, we do need to ground all this soaring hype with a heavy dose of reality, because actually cramming these technological miracles into messy human societies and legacy corporate structures, it is remarkably difficult. While 65% of enterprises bumped up their AI budgets this year, a staggering 79% are reporting major hair-pulling challenges in actually adopting and scaling the tech. Only 21% are having a smooth ride. So the appetite for AI is absolutely massive, but the digestive system of the modern enterprise is frankly struggling to process it. When you drill down into that friction, 54% of executives point straight to integration complexity as their biggest headache. It is just incredibly tough to wire this futuristic tech into clunky old systems. And as for where it's actually getting deployed today, customer service is still the undeniable heavyweight, capturing 56% of enterprise focus as companies scramble to roll out smart chatbots and slash their support costs. Compounding all of that corporate friction is a wildly tangled web of global regulation. Over in Europe, the EU AI Act compliance deadlines are hitting right now, demanding strict transparency for anything deemed a high-risk system. Meanwhile, in the US, companies are scrambling to navigate 145 newly enacted state AI laws, passed just last year alone. It's an absolute compliance nightmare that is forcing companies to build these massive, complex governance structures just to keep the lights on. There's a thought floating around that perfectly sums up the industry right now. The real differentiator in 2026 is no longer your AI ambition or how much money you spend, but whether you can actually embed enterprise-scale adoption into your human workflows. Merely buying AI isn't a competitive moat anymore. Literally anyone can rent a GPU. Actually making it work seamlessly with your human employees and surviving the regulatory maze, that is the only real edge left. So I'm going to leave you to ponder this massive tension we've unpacked today. On one hand, we have these unbelievable sci-fi capabilities like real-time robotic surgery and autonomous reasoning cars. But on the other hand, almost 80% of organizations are slamming into a brick wall trying to actually integrate it. Who is actually going to survive this transition? Thank you so much for tuning into this explainer. I really hope this helped cut through the noise and keep exploring this incredibly complex, amazing world of 2026 AI.